folks. Welcome in. Seven Rivers Racing and KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyke along with Al Losi. I kind of got a little French onion soup on the shirt leaving the studio today, so I'm going to represent the Badgers, and he's going to represent the show for the both of us. Are you set for Fest?
Oh, man, it's coming up way too quickly. We had that whole month in between the end of the racing season. It wasn't the end, but we have this 1 month break, and we're getting excited to get out there and hear the roar of the motors again.
Well, of course, Oktoberfest race weekend coming up next weekend. Our guest on the program today is going to tell us all about the ins and the outs, the old times, the new times, some of the new racing classes at Oktoberfest this year. Chuck Deary, the promoter and general manager of the Lacrosse Speedway, will be our guest on the program today. A lot of racing going on this weekend, though. If you're needing to get that racing fix, I've got 3 locations in which you can travel, whether you want to go far, wide, or right here in your backyard. First off, we want to congratulate and wish good luck to all the fine drivers that are done in Rockford this weekend for the National Short Track Nationals. I'm not going to be down there this year. I had a great time down there last year and expect a lot of that racing action to really heat things up. Weather-wise, last year we froze. This weekend is supposed to be nice.
It's supposed to be awesome for every track that's running in the Midwest. No rain. We're looking at the 70s, maybe dropping into the 60s in the evening, maybe even the 50s. That provides more horsepower, better stick on the racetrack for the tires, and that means better speeds, faster cars, more exciting for the fans.
And then away from his logic of thinking, my logic of thinking is more campfires, more cookouts, and more of the bubbly flowing in the wee hours of the morning. Not that I'm an expert at any of this, but you know what I'm talking about.
They kind of work together.
Also, Marshfield's got a big race this weekend, the Toma Excalibur Motorsports Speedway. Racing their second night out of the past 2 weeks. They've got a big $10,000 to win late model challenge going on. With a 100-lap race on Saturday. Hornets Thunderstock Sportsman running complete shows with double pay on Friday. And then the big show coming up at Toma on Saturday with the Hebelman Brothers 100. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of a mix of cars Toma gets. We saw Stevens Point, Wausau, La Crosse, this entire region. Columbus had a guy from Northern Illinois come up and race a couple of weeks ago. So it doesn't matter where you go. Rockford, Marshfield, even Toma. If you need to get that fix, you can find it here within a matter of hours of driving.
And as we were talking before the show, there are so many people who are taking their cars apart during this month period where nobody's doing anything, checking all their weld joints, checking all the fluids, checking everything out, putting the cars back together, and people who may have crashed at their tracks prior to that are putting their cars back together. And this Friday and Saturday out at Excalibur, great testing place to go check that out and maybe win some money.
It is. It's a third eighth mile, high banked in turns 3 and 4. If you remember the old configuration back from tracks, I think, has been open since '63. You're going to see a lot of different things. They do plan on reforming that track, I guess, during the off season. They're going to kind of tear up 3 and 4 and do some different things out there. So prices look good. $12 for a night, $20 for both for adults, $6 for ages 12 to 6, or $10 for both seniors. Can get in $9 a night or $15 for both. And again, that's going to be out at the Toma Excalibur Motorsports Speedway. Rockford, well, everybody knows about that one. Just Google search the National Short Track Champion and see what happens down there. Some of the best are going to be warming up down there, hopefully saving what they have for the Oktoberfest race weekend coming your way next week. As we're talking about drivers putting their cars back together, this is also the time of the year when drivers start putting their cars up for sale, whether they're getting out of the sport, getting into sport, jumping into a different division. One precaution that Al and I want to pass along, and it was kind of funny because we were talking before we started taping of a car that showed up on Craigslist this week, and ironically enough, you saw it and then I saw it, or maybe vice versa, and it led me to start thinking, the car that was listed said it was a La Crosse late model, though in all the years I've been here, I've never seen the car, didn't recognize the location, none of that stuff. And whether it is an actual La Crosse late model or a Rockford setup or a Toma, Marshfield, Dells, doesn't matter where it is setup, it's going to be a buyer beware. Now, something we should have touched on last year, but we will in this portion of the program. Just because it says La Crosse late model doesn't mean that it may be a La Crosse late model.
Right. The best thing to do is no matter where you're racing, there are going to be deals out there during the off season, and this one looks like a great deal.
It looks like a nice ride,
and it looks like everything is. The price is awesome for getting into. I would recommend people go look at it if they're interested, but take like you mentioned off camera, go print off the lacrosse rules before going down there, or take someone. You can call up
an engine builder
or anybody out.
Anybody that runs lacrosse late model, whether they're there now or maybe they are in the past.
And just go look at it.
You know, I think it was located in Minnesota.
Check it out.
Which was the other kind of question mark I had of, we only have, I think, one late model driver, Tim Nelson, that comes out of Minnesota. So, you know, depending on what the car is or what the class is, just because it says LLM, lacrosse late model, if it is, kudos. Go find that car. Like I said, the price on there and everything that the guy was throwing in the trailer looked like it was a great deal. But in the back of your mind, if you are wanting to especially get into the sport, bring your dad, bring an engine builder. I mean, you got Tazar and John Scott and all these different driver engine builders around here. Even call Al up, or Al Jr. or Brian or someone like that, and take them out, because I'd hate to see someone later in the year. And this did happen to a couple drivers at lacrosse this year, thought they were getting something and had problems the entire season. So
and it was just a part. The whole car was legal except for one part. And you know, and it's a carburetor, unfortunately, there. And we may be selling this car because we're talking about it for this person on the internet, just because we get somebody out there to look at it, and it is a big deal. And a lot of other people who are from lacrosse are selling their cars too in other divisions, so keep an eye on that too, because you know that they've already raced at lacrosse. And
also, and not trying to dog, I guess you could say, but you're going to have cars like Bandits and Hornets, very identical setups. You even have Decorah Iowa dirt track cars that are set up like the Bandits and the Hornets. It's those little details that you want to check out before you get it back to your garage, give it your checkbook, and go, wait a minute, this isn't what I wanted.
Exactly. And that's why you mentioned buyer beware. Great idea. Oktoberfest coming up.
Going to be talking about that here in the program. Can't wait next weekend. Camper Village opens Monday. I'll be out camping Wednesday. He'll be out Monday. And then let the festivities begin on and off the track. Chuck Deary is going to join us here in a couple of moments right here on Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV.